Are yoga teachers the most important people in the world? I know that's a big statement, maybe even a controversial one. But when people think about the most important people in the world, they usually think about presidents, scientists, doctors, CEOs, inventors, world leaders. But what if one of the most important professions on the planet is one that most people overlook? What if yoga teachers are some of the most important people in this entire world? And no, I'm not just saying this because I'm a yoga teacher. I'm saying it because of what yoga teachers actually do. And I don't believe that we fully understand the impact yet. So let's talk about it. When I became a yoga teacher, I thought my job was to teach poses. I thought my job was to help people stretch, take deep breaths. Of course, I knew the 8 limbs of yoga, but I really saw people desire to improve flexibility. I saw them have a desire to relax after a stressful day. But over time, I realized something much bigger was happening. People weren't just leaving class feeling looser. They were leaving calmer, more patient, more grounded, more connected, more capable of handling their lives. And that's when I realized that yoga teachers are not in the flexibility business, at least not the physical flexibility. They're in the transformation business. Think about it. Every day, millions of people walk into yoga classes carrying stress, anxiety, grief, burnout, frustration, fear, relationship challenges, financial pressure, health concerns. They arrive carrying the weight of their lives. And for an hour, they learn something incredibly valuable. How to stay present even if things get uncomfortable. How to breathe through what comes their way. That's a life skill, not a fitness skill, a life skill, because life is uncomfortable sometimes. Relationships are uncomfortable sometimes. Leadership is uncomfortable sometimes. Parenting is uncomfortable sometimes. Growth is uncomfortable sometimes. And yoga teaches people how to remain present inside discomfort instead of immediately reacting to it. I often say that yoga teachers may be the frontline workers of emotional regulation, because every time a student chooses to breathe instead of panic, every time a student learns how to stay calm in their nervous system, every time a student becomes less reactive and more intentional, the effects extend beyond the yoga room. They take those skills home. They take them to their families. They take them to their workplaces, to their communities. And here's something most people don't think about. Medical systems are largely designed to help people after a problem appears, after the diagnosis, after the burnout, the anxiety, the overwhelming feelings, after the blood pressure rises, after the stress takes a toll. And thank goodness we have those systems, because we need them. They're important. But yoga teachers often work much earlier in the process. We help people build resilience before crisis arrives. We help people develop tools before they need them. We help people strengthen their nervous systems before life tests them. And that's preventative care. Now, am I saying yoga teachers replace doctors? Absolutely not. That's not the role. What I'm saying is that yoga teachers are teaching people how to breathe, how to move, how to regulate stress, how to reconnect with themselves. And that may prevent countless problems from escalating. And that matters a whole lot. Let's zoom out even further. Imagine someone learns emotional regulation in yoga class. Because of that, they become a better partner, a better parent, a better manager, a better leader. They become a better community member. Now imagine that happening thousands of times, millions of times every single day. That's not a small impact. That's cultural influence. That's public health, public service. One of the reasons I believe yoga teachers are so important right now is because we're living through a period of extraordinary stress. People, they're overwhelmed. They're exhausted. They're distracted. They're disconnected from themselves. And many don't even realize it. They think that being stressed all the time is normal. They think constantly being overwhelmed is just a part of modern life. But it doesn't have to be. And yoga teachers, they're helping people remember that. We're teaching people something many schools never taught: how to breathe consciously, how to regulate emotions, how to manage stress, how to listen to their bodies, how to slow down, how to create space between stimulus and response. Those skills affect everything: career success, relationships, health, leadership, decision-making. Every area of life improves when a person becomes more self-regulated. And this is why I believe yoga teachers need to start seeing themselves differently. Am I talking to you? You're not just teaching poses. You're not just teaching classes. You're not just filling time slots on a schedule. You're helping people become better versions of themselves. You are helping people access clarity, peace, resilience, self-awareness, compassion. And we need more of that in this world, not less. In fact, I believe many yoga teachers dramatically underestimate their value. Because they've been taught to think small. They've been taught that success means teaching more classes, having more students, more attendance, making a little more money, working harder, driving from studio to studio, getting more exposure, getting more likes. What if your impact is much bigger than that? What if your work belongs in corporations, in universities, in government organizations, in healthcare systems, in schools, in communities? Because these skills you're teaching are needed everywhere. That's why I believe yoga teachers have an opportunity to become some of the most influential leaders of the next generation, leaders of the future, leaders of the right now, not because they're teaching yoga, but because they're teaching human beings how to function better. And when human beings function better, families improve, communities improve, organizations improve, cities improve, business improves, countries improve. This is exactly why my mission is world peace through inner peace. Because I don't believe peace begins with policies. I believe peace begins with people. And people create peace when they know how to regulate themselves, when they know how to breathe through discomfort, when they know how to respond instead of react. And yoga teachers, we help make that possible every single day. So, are yoga teachers the most important people in the world? Maybe, maybe not. But I do believe they're doing some of the most important work in the world. And I believe that it's time we start recognizing that. So if you're a yoga teacher and you're watching this, congratulations to you. You really care about making a difference in the world. Thank you for joining me in the mission. Just putting your mind into this zone contributes. The work you're doing matters more than you know. And if you'd like to learn how to expand your impact as a yoga leader, if you'd like to learn how to expand the difference that you make in the lives of others, which also affects your life, join us. Together, we're building a movement rooted in one simple belief: world peace through inner peace. And if you'd like to learn the details of that, I invite you to join the live webinar masterclass that I teach on Sunday. The details are in the caption. Go and look it up, check it out, join me, bring pen and paper, and be ready to ask questions, because the best leaders ask questions. See you there.